What's up there, fellas and ladies? And there ain't no ladies that listen to this shit. But hey, fellas, what's up?
There are occasionally. And I think we're going to have a few new ones.
I bet you they're all fat.
The ladies?
Yeah, every lady that listens to us is probably fatty.
So. Well,
I don't know why I'm being so judgmental. I mean, who gives a shit if they're fat or skinny?
Plump, maybe. I don't know if I'd go fat. I don't want to insult the listeners.
I say that because fat ladies have more of a sense of humor than skinny ladies.
They do. Generally do. They have to.
In general, I don't know if they have to or not. I mean, I think that falls for men for the most part, too, is the fatties are usually tend to be a little funnier because they make up for other things. The fact that they're big turd flobbies.
Flobbies?
Flobbies, man.
Well, it is Labor Day weekend, and we're glad you're here, for those of you that are here.
Yeah.
A lot to talk about today, and there's going to be some football talk because
Celebrate your labor.
I'm as excited as I can possibly be.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about football. I'm happy to have college back. I was going to bet
Watch
that Notre Dame covered yesterday, and they did cover, but I'm swearing off betting until January, so...
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm waiting for Ohio to become legal. I've been waiting for Ohio to become legal for a while. I don't want to drive all the way to Indiana to make a fucking bet. And
yeah, but you've never done that anyway. You used one of those offshore ones.
Yeah,
right?
But I don't want to put more money into those either.
You want to save it for
I lost all my money on the offshore ones. I don't bet a lot anyways, you know that, but I put in a few $100s like 3 years ago and it lasted for that long.
Yeah.
So I never really cashed out, but I had 3 years of betting fun for $300.
But you have the advantage.
I've worked it up pretty high.
You have an advantage because pretty much every Sunday, Matt and I go to Indiana and watch football there. Mm-hmm. And if you ever wanted to make a call, you just call and say, "Hey, put this on there for me." And
yeah, but I'd rather just wait. I'm waiting to get all the discounts, all the extra free bets, all the shit that'll happen when they first open it up in Ohio.
Yeah, I'm thrilled about all that.
It's fine. I'll live through it. I got fantasy to live through. I got survivor pools. I got all that other bullshit stuff that all of us sports nerds do. But
yep.
I'm just not going to spend a lot of money.
But I am just beyond the moon excited. I did watch that Notre Dame Ohio State game last night. Fucking just thrilled that football is back.
Yeah, I don't like Ohio State, so I was rooting against them the whole time, but I felt good at least Notre Dame covered. I can finally like Notre Dame. I grew up a Notre Dame fan because of the Fighting Irish thing, and I was Irish, and I was,
right.
My whole dad's side of the family was a bunch of Catholics, so Notre Dame was a thing. And I loved them when I was a kid.
I loved Lou Holtz. I was a big Lou Holtz guy.
Then Brian Kelly got the job there. He left UC, fucked him over, went to Notre Dame, and ever since then I've had to hate Notre Dame because I can't. And he fucking screwed up LSU for me, too. I like LSU.
Yeah.
I can't like LSU anymore because I can't like fucking Brian Kelly.
I don't like LSU.
Guy's a cunt. I do like LSU, but
I find that my favorite sports teams, college-wise, are generally on the northern half of the country.
Really?
Yeah, it's just coincidence.
Nah,
well,
I'm an
with
SEC
the
guy.
exception of I'm a Pac-12 guy. Well, Pac-10 to me. So, I'm a big fan of the West Coast teams, but Arizona State, blah, blah, blah. But if I do like other teams, I've always liked, in the back of my mind, I've liked Notre Dame just because they're Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. My sister lived in South Bend. I got to go to a couple of games when I go visit her. It was pretty fucking cool. And
they got a good logo.
Plus our boy Frank Jacobs.
Yeah, but I didn't know him until I hated Notre Dame.
No, but now you do, and, I got to like him a little. I'm not an Ohio State fan.
Yeah.
I'm more of a UC fan.
I'm an Ohio State hater.
Even though they just lost.
Certified Ohio State hater.
Lost the first fucking loss.
Yeah, what sucks most about UC losing to Arkansas is now I got to root for Arkansas all year because that'll make their loss look better at least. Right. I mean, UC has a good chance to run the table after this game, but they're always going to have that loss to Arkansas on their schedule. So if Arkansas comes off and becomes a top 5 team somehow, well, that makes UC decent again, and they have a super outside chance of getting a decent bowl. But national championship, that's the fucked up thing about college football. National championship hopes for Cincinnati, first game, done. They're done. They can't make the national championship.
They cannot.
Especially as a non-power 5 team. But they are expanding to 12 teams playoff starting 2026. Why the fuck do we wait until 2026?
I have no idea.
I'm sure, as Hat Mutson pointed out to me yesterday, it's probably some kind of network deals they got to wait through.
I would imagine
God damn, that's annoying.
To do with that.
You would think the money would be pouring in. That's going to be huge.
Well, there's so much fucking money pouring in already.
Hey, you know what was pouring in the other day?
What?
I don't know, but I was taking a drink yesterday. I took the kids to the trampoline park. They're running around trampolining, jumping up and down. I take a drink of my coffee, my favorite drug in the world. Coffee. Second favorite drug of the world, I'm sorry. I feel a lumpy thing in it.
In your coffee?
My coffee. Well, everybody knows there's not lumpy things in coffee. So what the fuck? Dead fly. There was a dead fly in my coffee. I had it in my mouth. I spinning in my hands. I looked at it, and I just laughed and threw it on the ground. But then I was faced with the dilemma. I'm pretty high up in this coffee. I got a lot of coffee left. I got no other drink going on. And as I said before, coffee is my second favorite drug. I got to have my coffee. I drank it. I finished the coffee.
Well, I mean, flies are pretty clean.
Right? Right?
They live on turds.
No, they're
dude.
nasty, but I just figured, you know what? Africans eat them all the time.
Like that old joke. There are two flies sitting there eating a turd.
Yeah.
And one of them farts, and the other one, hey, say, do you mind? I'm eating here.
Well, hopefully this particular fly didn't hang out with any turds recently.
They live on dead things and turds.
You think the trampoline fly does? Well, that's another thing, is the mystery. How'd the fly get in there? It was this, well, it wasn't this cup, but it was one of these kind of cups. So I don't know if it got in there through that or if it was in my coffee already before I poured it in.
Do you put sugar in your coffee?
No.
You don't?
No. I put fake sugar. I do pink packets. I like getting cancer.
He probably landed on it, said, oh, there's something sweet in there, went in the hole.
Went in it. It was definitely dead. I mean, it was never alive. I never felt movement, but it was just lumpy.
Well, yeah. I mean, the poor little motherfucker flew in there and then landed in something that's probably 130 fucking degrees.
Yeah. And it fucked with me the rest of the day. I felt like something was weird in my mouth. My throat hurt. I'm like, it was that goddamn fly. I got malaria.
Same thing happened to me when I was a kid. I had a glass of chocolate milk, and I fucking drank it, and I set it on the table. When I came back in, it was this much at the bottom, so I chugged got all the way to my throat, and I went, and a fucking fly flew out.
Live? Dead?
Oh, no, it's still live.
Oh, see, that's moving. Even worse for some reason.
It was worse.
I don't know. Dead don't bother me as much. I just figure people eat flies, right? I mean,
do they?
Well,
on purpose?
Some places don't have a choice. They eat what there is, all right? Sometimes a big fly is the only meal you're going to have. But either way, they don't have the food processing in the system that we got. They're hanging their beef up and shit like that. Flies are on them all the time. I think I'll be fine.
I mean, they eat by vomiting on something.
That's the rumor. I don't know if that's actually true.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know. I feel
it's
like
absolutely true.
I feel like that's one of those things that dumb people tell you and then you just believe.
Oh, no, they regurgitate and the acid breaks down the food. They don't have any teeth.
Well, they should get some, man. I've got bit by a fly before, I feel like.
You got bit by like a deer fly or a fruit fly, but the common house fly has no teeth.
Ah, all right. Well,
I learned this because, we had an entomologist on recently, Matt Hudson.
Yeah, he really
told
does.
us a lot about bugs.
He knows a lot about bugs.
Yeah, he does. He knows his bugs.
Yeah.
So I just got back from Vegas.
I think it's because he doesn't wash his ass enough and gets bugs in it or something.
Let me tell you something. I just got back from Vegas.
I've never smelled Matt.
We get off the plane. We go straight to the hotel, check in, okay? He goes and takes his first shit. He took 4 or 5 shits the first day we were there. They weren't friendly or nice or anything. I walked into that bathroom like 10 minutes later. I swear to God, I felt like I was in a fucking morgue that lost its AC.
Yeah, I feel like I don't want to share a bath or a hotel room with someone that shits 5 times.
How was I to know he shit 5 times? He does.
Yeah, that's true.
He poops all the time.
Did you ask him if this was a normal thing? And did you tell him that this is not a normal thing for humans?
Well, the worst part is, I would basically try to wait. We weren't in the room that long. We'd come in, we'd change, shower, leave. Mm-hmm. But after the second one, he goes, well, let me tell you about this one. I'm like, all right, tell me about this one. He goes, it was like soup, like a thick soup with no chunks. And I'm like, so that's going to stink more. He goes, oh, yeah, it's awful. I'm like, I got to poop in there. I got to pee in there.
Oh, yeah, that's awful.
He poops a lot. Matt poops a lot.
He looks like he poops a lot, though. He was telling me, though, you hurried up to his poop part, but the airport part, he told me you went complete old man on him. For one thing...
At the airport?
Well, no, I guess in the build-up. Apparently, he woke up late or some shit like that, and you guys were running late, but not really, but you thought you were running late because you're old, is what he said. And and he said you were flipping out the whole fucking time, and he said you spent like 3 weeks trying to get him to sleep over to your house.
Well, I just said we got to leave the house at 4:30 to get to the airport. So this fucking guy...
He said you were really persistent about wanting you to sleep over, and we're all wondering why did you want him to sleep over so bad?
He lives 30 minutes away.
Okay. He owns a car.
But I found out recently, in the last 6 months, Matt's generally not an on-time person. Matt's going to run 10, 15, 20 minutes late to everything.
Really?
Except work, yeah. Like at the concert. He's late every fucking time. He's 10, 15 minutes late every fucking time. To everywhere. And when you go to the airport, you have no idea. I've went to the airport before, and it's taken me an hour to get through the security. Sometimes you just never know.
Well, you kind of do based on the time.
Well, yeah, but basically what I said is, hey, if we leave at 4:30, plane was leaving at like 6:45. Leave at 4:30. We got to drive a half hour to the airport. We got to park in one of those long-term parkings. You have no idea how long you're going to wait. I mean, that's kind of one thing.
You do kind of based on the day, though, man.
Yeah, but you don't know how long you're going to wait for the bus to come back to pick you up, to drive you from the long-term parking over there.
That could be a pain in the ass.
You have to check in, all that stuff. So, I mean, you want to get to the gate.
It sounded like he made perfect timing because he said you guys got there and like pretty much 10, 15 minutes later you're on the plane.
Well, because we literally didn't.
That's preference.
We didn't wait in the security line for 2 minutes. We walked right through.
Well, again, it's you guys left it like in the middle of the fucking night. No one's at the airport.
Well, but the whole point is,
if you're leaving at 9 in the morning on a Monday, of course it's gonna be crowded.
You can be late for some things, but a plane's not gonna wait for you. At the time it's time for it to leave, it takes off.
They'd wait for me.
No, they wouldn't.
They would wait for me. I'm
so,
VIP, dude.
I said, let's leave around 4:30 because the plane left around 2 hours later. I'm like, that sounds about right. Get in there about an hour early. Do whatever you got to do.
An hour?
He called me he sent me a message at 4:45, already 15 minutes past when we had decided to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the alarm didn't go off. I just woke up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know he's got to get up, get dressed. He's got to drive 30 minutes to the house. I'm like, well, there's no fucking way we're going to make the plane.
But you made it.
Because we drove separate. I took off at that point. He just drove from his house to the airport. And yeah, we made it just in time. But I didn't think we were going to. I thought we were going to missed the plane for sure.
I don't know. He was going on and on how only old people would flip out as much as you did. And
yeah, but you know the one thing I
wasn't
going to
argue, so.
You know, fuck him. Because the one thing I didn't have to do is I didn't have to ask for an extension strap for my seatbelt on the fucking plane.
Oh, no, we're giving shit to Matt for being a fatty?
He gave me shit for being old.
True. You're right.
Did he or did he not?
Tit for tat, motherfucker.
As a matter of fact, when he told you the story, did I not, in his mind, go old man?
You did go old man.
I did. So he went fat guy on the fucking plane and had to have an extra strap to get that seatbelt buckled. Fuck you, Hat Munson. You don't fucking come after me. I'll come right back. I went after him only because you told me he went after me.
Hey, do you think I'd need the extra strap?
No.
All right, good. Because that's embarrassing. I'm not going. It's like
I don't think you would.
It's like Kings Island. I haven't been in 20 years because I ain't going through that embarrassment of some fucking teenager trying to push that thing in. Sorry, sir, too fat. Then if they do get it in, you're like, for the next fucking
thing stretches pretty big, and you know, in Matt's defense, those seats are small.
They're not comfortable. I already hate plane ride seats.
Everything in society is pretty much based on skinny to average people. The seat size, we had to. I mean, literally had to fucking flip up the fucking things, the seat.
Yeah, and we're talking about American average, not the rest of the world. The rest of the world average, those things are super small.
Yeah.
Or like if you go back in the day, that's why Wrigley Field fucking sucks. They're built for people in the 30s.
Right.
Those little midget motherfuckers,
But he poops a lot, and he farts a lot.
Damn.
Farts a lot.
So what else happened in Vegas? Give us the lowdown.
Our hotel, big, huge, a whole wall was window.
Okay.
And we were basically looking at the Paris hotel.
Okay.
And their entire hotel was facing us.
So you mooned them a lot, right?
All the time.
Okay, yeah.
I mooned them every fucking day. I get up in the morning because I know that somebody is looking in our hotel.
Maybe.
I was looking at theirs.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
Somebody's looking. So I showed him my ass a couple times. I literally, gave him one of these kind of shows and, that. And just trying to brighten people's day.
What was Matt doing as you're walking around naked in front of the window?
No, the one thing I got to give Matt, it's like I'm mooning it and all that, and he's looking straight down.
Why would he want to look? Yeah.
Well, because it's funny to see a fucking old guy standing there mooning a whole bunch of people just in case someone's looking,
It's funny because an old guy would do that.
But for anyone going to Vegas, especially you guys out there, I highly recommend Planet Hollywood. It seemed like the party place now. Everybody's getting fucked up, having a good time. And they have 2 pits called the pleasure pits where all the girls are there's no guy dealers in there. All smoking hot girls with fucking like thongs on and just looking at ass and tits the whole fucking time. And then at night, starting at 6 o'clock, girls with even less clothing on stand on these boxes in the pits and just fucking dance for you like a titty bar. It's fucking awesome.
I guess.
I mean, it's just a big party. That's the one place that's not all business. Hey, this is the place. Let's go have fun in here. And, you get drunk. There's a lot of fucking smoking hot women everywhere.
There's other places like that too, though, right?
Yeah, but Harris has a party pit, but not like this. Pleasure pit was all hot.
They're not all the Bellagio. Bellagio is all fancy, and then everybody's real serious.
Caesars was real serious. We went in there. Yeah. Everybody was real serious there, and all the places
mad they
we
got
went
rid
to.
of the fucking lions. Ever since Caesar got rid of the lions, not interested.
I mean, since MGM got rid of the lion.
Oh, you're right. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, because Asian people won't walk into the mouth of a lion.
Is that what it was?
The front entrance used to be a big lion head.
No, I don't care about that. That reminds me of like a Myrtle Beach souvenir shop. But I'm talking about the actual lions they used to have on display once you got in there. That was awesome. And they took away
cruelty.
those. Yeah, whatever, man. The zoos still exist. Why can't that exist?
Yeah, that was MGM.
I guess zoos have a pretty good lion pit, and this was just like a little small room they'd stick a fucking lion in. All these
let you see a
degenerate
lion.
gamblers.
Well, you know what? You go to fucking Gatlinburg and you go into a souvenir shop, T-shirts everywhere, and hey, in this corner we got a fucking black bear crammed into this.
Those bears are so miserable.
Box, yeah.
Those bears are always so miserable.
I see live bears.
Yeah.
You walk in there and this fucker's just laying there going, What do you want me to do? You want me to fucking tap dance? What the fuck do you want from me?
Throw me some meth.
No, but great. The trip was a great time. Matt and I pretty much stayed fuzzy the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
We started drinking real early. I was doing shots of Jaeger all day, but I was a little pissed. All the Jaeger I got there was always warm, and I don't like warm Jaeger.
Well, it's because it's not a wanted thing anymore. Jaeger's not a cool thing.
If it wasn't a cool thing, they wouldn't have it.
Well, everybody has every liquor. I'm just saying they're not going through the process of chilling it and stuff because it's just not as requested. That was the whole thing.
Well,
you used to back in the day because Jaeger was pretty big. You'd have to have that whole fucking setup, and that would take a big bar spot and everything else. But at the time, you sold a shitload of it. Now no one ever fucking wants it. Why do you want that big thing on your bar? They don't really keep any other
these
drinks.
are all service bars. They're real small service bars.
Yeah, they don't really keep any other drinks.
But what I thought Matt was going to give me shit for is first night there, I was pretty drunk.
Yeah, I figured.
Of course. I mean, I'm hammered. I'm having a good time.
Well,
I'm
you're going
drinking
to Vegas.
free.
Why wouldn't you?
So we have this waitress. She's Asian. She's Asian.
This motherfucker.
She has got just a beautiful face, long, fucking straight black hair, which I love. Love long, straight hair without the curls and all that. And a butt.
Sounds racist.
What? White people, black people, they can all have long, straight hair.
Black people can't have long, straight hair.
Yes, they can.
No,
Ask Beyonce.
that's not her hair, but
Well, it doesn't matter. They
and
can
Beyonce,
still style it.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, go on.
So anyway,
I hate you.
I'll turn it off. So this fucking waitress is just going by, and she's, they're doing the flirting thing and all that happy stuff, and all of a sudden I said to her, which, sometimes I speak before I think, but I wouldn't.
Every so often.
I didn't go out. I wasn't rude.
Mm-hmm.
I said, do you have any possible idea how fucking hot you are? I mean, do you know? And she said, thank you. And she smiled and walked away. And Matt gave me shit about that for a long time. And I'm going, I didn't say, God, I want to fuck you or anything like that. I just said, do you have any idea?
It's still just as creepy.
I wasn't flirting with anyone. I didn't flirt with no one. Did you hear about the crazy guy that was playing Ultimate Hold'em with me?
No.
I'm sitting there playing Ultimate Hold'em.
Why?
Because I was getting killed on the dice table.
You're drunk.
There was
Anyways,
no
go.
other spot, so I sat down to play. And I ended up winning a little bit there. So I'm sitting there, and there's this fucking guy sitting next to me making little fucking jokes. He's playing all black. He's playing lots of money. And he's from Canada. And he's got these couple guys popping over occasionally. So Matt's sitting down with me, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, I'm like, I said to Matt, hey, what time are we going to go back to the room and get changed and go out, for the night? The guy goes, oh, you going back to the room? Oh, you got one bed? Couple of gay guys, are you?
Couple quiz?
And he even said queer. And he was like, he just had the sense of humor like we have. And I'm like laughing. He goes, who's the bottom? Who's the bottom? And he's just fucking with us this whole time. And I'm fucking back, and Matt's fucking back, and he's laughing. All of a sudden, Matt goes, man, that dice table's cold. And the guy goes, really? Hands Matt $500 and said, take this $500, go over there. Whatever you win above the $500, we split.
Oh, I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah. So he comes back. He gets
I heard
nothing.
he didn't, yeah.
And the guy goes, man, you suck at that. And he goes, here's $600 more. Go get me $100 hard ways, and then do what you want with the other $200, and we'll split what's left. And then the guy goes over there, obviously a terrible dice player, because Matt was getting killed a little bit. And then all of a sudden he starts going, here, bet this, bet this. But me and Matt were sitting there thinking, this is one of those Vegas kind of situations. This guy gets drunk, he's just going to start handing out money.
That's the hope, yeah.
That's the hope. We looked for him every day. We couldn't find him after that.
You looked for him.
Well, because he said he's staying at the same place we were.
We put a GPS on his truck.
I'm always down here. But I mean, we ran into that. We had a great time. It was just, like I said, good times. And I did what I said I was going to do for the last month. I did, in fact, get the Brazilian.
I thought you were going to say you lost your phone. because dumb fuck here lost.
Phone was stolen.
It's stolen. I guarantee your drunk ass just forgot it somewhere.
No.
And now he has a new phone that he doesn't know how to turn the ringer off. So for all you guys that are annoyed when you hear that, that's just Chris not knowing how to operate his fucking machines.
That we have that set on the show, tells me when to segue into a different thing.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is. It's
reminder.
A timer. But no, and the reason I know someone stole it is because we're sitting there at the table. Matt says, "What time is it?" I look at my phone. I said, "It's 7:30." He goes, "Well, let's go up to the steakhouse and eat."
Okay.
Went up to the steakhouse. We sit down. 10 minutes later, I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I forgot my phone." I go down there. It's gone.
Yeah, but that's you forgetting your phone. That's not someone stealing it.
Someone grabbed it.
Well, yeah, because it was a free phone at that point. That's not stealing.
But
Stealing is you're right there and he's taking it out of your pocket or he's taking it out of the rail while you're there. If your dumbass leaves it, that's just a guy finding a phone. Hey, fucking, I got a phone. You know, it's not stealing.
Can't unlock it. Can't unuse it. What's the point of stealing phones anymore?
Just breaking it. Just to know that you ruined someone's day. Maybe you had a bad day gambling. You're just like, someone else is gonna have a worse day.
Yeah, probably.
You know.
But no. So I did get the Brazilian.
All right.
I am clean. I'm smooth.
Now, a lot of us had issues with this. Not that you got the Brazilian. You've been talking about it forever. But the fact that you went to a couple days in Vegas with your buddy, male friend, and you decided to spend those days getting your butthole and balls waxed.
Well, you guys can think all you want about that, but you're fucking idiots if you do.
It's not idiots. You would make fun of someone too. You would make fun of someone too. It's like when our friend Kevin decided to get pedicures with all of his buddies. You know, it's just stuff you don't do with your buddies.
But hold on a second. Matt was in the waiting room. He didn't come in the room. That's weird.
I couldn't imagine walking in the waiting room with another man and waiting for him to... I think less of Matt than I think of you in this situation. Well, so before you get on your high horse thinking I'm ripping on you, I think Matt's the fucking weirdo in this one. Because I know one thing. If my friend, if me and you were there, and you were going to go get a Brazilian, I'm not going with you. We're not walking through the front waiting, and I'm sitting there waiting for my man to get his fucking balls waxed.
We made it fun. We had all the girls laughing. I guess they were all laughing at how scared I was. But
well, I heard you were the biggest bitch of all time.
It hurt.
Yeah, well, I mean, it hurts everyone. But as Matt said, there's multiple of these going on at one time. He said, you're the only one that you could hear screaming from the lobby.
It's weird.
He said screaming.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Because I can handle I can handle medical pain.
You can't. I mean, we've been over this. I just don't think your pain's your thing, but it's fine. I mean.
You could punch me in the face right now. I'll finish the podcast.
Okay.
But don't rip my fucking nut hairs out by the fucking roots.
And then you'll probably whine about it the next. This is how Matt described this, because he was texting us during your Brazilian. Sitting in this quiet lobby, not a peep, just some relaxing music going. Then all of a sudden, a scream of sheer agony ripples through the place. He's been screaming off and on for the past 3 minutes. I asked if this, for real? I thought he was just fucking with me, just telling his story. He said, yeah, he's actually scaring people with his screams. There was this fruity dude that went in right after him, hasn't made a peep, but teases putting all the scream queens to rest. We're in a pause at the moment, but then fuck, shit! I asked him if he recorded it. I'm actually upset that you didn't record it. Not even video.
They wouldn't let me.
You could have audio recorded. They would have never known. You could have just pressed the audio record, let it sit in your pocket, and you would have got all of it.
Well, Matt's got some audio recording of it, but you can hear my screams.
Yeah, he said someone was doing some stupid shit right in front of him. So
blow drying.
Yeah, blow drying, so he couldn't really hear it.
Well, let me explain. First of all,
he said he has quite the variety of pain screams. If a horror movie director was here with some audio equipment, you'd be hearing those screams in movies for decades. So yeah, apparently you're really.
I'm going to break this down for you. First of all, for the last month and a half, I've been saying I was going to get it here, and the girl keeps putting me off. And I've said to you on countless occasions that I can't find anybody here to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting in the room with Matt, and I'm like, I wonder if they have Manzillions here. The name of this place was Bombshell Brazilian Beauty Spa or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, if it's on the Strip and it's nearby, why not check it out? So I look into it. We were going to go to downtown Fremont Street because we wanted to see it and check it out while we were there. It's literally right on the street from where we were going.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let's go there. I go walking in. We go walking in. We're greeted by, it's all women in there working, and I said, hey, just give me the rundown of what's going to happen here. She goes, well, pain level out of 10 is going to be like a 5 to 6. And I said, well, here. I said, I'm going to ask all the questions I want to ask legitimately, and I want you to answer them all factually, not with your opinions. I said, what I'm really worried about, and I'm going to be honest with you, is the balls. There's very thin skin on the balls, and I really think that's going to hurt. She goes, believe it or not, the balls aren't bad. And the asshole.
It's just someone that doesn't have balls.
And that's what I said. And she said, and the asshole is the easiest part. That's the part that hurts the least.
I've been telling pregnant bitches for years, just get over it. Labor isn't that bad. You bitches whine so much. You want all these shots. Your whole body's numb, and you still, birth. Fuck you.
So my girl comes out, and she goes, are you ready? And I'm like, hey, first thing I'm going to do first, send me to the bathroom because I've been walking around in this 120-degree fucking weather. I got swamp nuts right now, and I need to fucking freshen up. I don't want you sticking your head down there if I stink. So
Why?
she goes, no problem.
Dude, your nuts, even if your nuts stink, they're not even the worst nuts she's going to see that day. There's so much nuts going on in this lady's life that
call it a self-conscious
you can't
thing.
have it,
I think they do much more women than men.
Well, I'm sure.
So I go in there, I clean up. She says, get naked. I'm running down the whole process here. She says, get naked from the waist down and lay on that bed there and then put this little towel over your junk. She was a young girl, probably mid-20s, maybe 30. So I come in. She comes in. I'm laying there fucking exposed, feeling quite vulnerable. And before she takes the towel off, she says to me, she says, yeah, don't worry. We get a lot of, I wax a lot of men often. Mm-hmm. I said, let me ask you a question. Tell me, are you going to tell me step by step when you're doing everything? She goes, everything. You'll know everything I'm doing. I'm like, cool. She said, first of all, hey, why are you getting this done? I said, well, to be honest with you, I've got a fuck buddy back at home that eats my butt. And I thought it'd be nice if she ate a clean butt. She goes, sounds like a good a reason to any.
You're so giving.
And she's laughing. She's telling me about the swingers clubs in Vegas. There's only one, but she goes, blah, blah, blah.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, she said there's one.
She's not connected as she needs to be then. There has to be more than one.
She has tons of friends who are in the swing community.
She
said there's only one on the up and up. She said there's a lot of like private parties at different places.
Fair enough.
But there's only one public place you can go to. It's called the Green Door.
And at that point, you didn't ask for the address and told Matt you'd see him later?
No.
We've already established.
So I said,
bring Matt to sit in the lobby while you went upstairs and
she goes, why didn't you get this done at home?
Yeah.
I said, because they don't do it anymore. I think most of the places stopped doing it because the guys were getting hard-ons. She goes, well, first of all, be honest with you, it's easier to wax a hard dick than a soft one. So,
yeah, I guess I could see that.
So she goes, why, you worried about that happening? And I said, I'm not worried about that happening at all. Mm-hmm. I'm in fear here. My dick's not going to move, I promise you. So she lifts up the towel, and she says, open your legs a little bit, and she literally grabs my dick, balls, she moves everything around, checking out the hair. And then it's not getting hard at all, believe me. It's not moving. So I said, well, you tell me what's the most painful part? Because this girl out in the reception area, she doesn't know. She goes, I found that most guys yell the loudest when I do the actual dick, the side of the shaft. Said that's what men find the most painful. And I said, okay, what are you doing first? So she did the sides of the legs first. When she ripped those off, I was like, oh, fuck, that hurt. And all of a sudden I feel the wax going on the dick. I said, is it the painful part? And she goes, well, it's the most painful, I think. She ripped it off. I feel like part of my soul left. It hurt so fucking bad. And I admit, I screamed. But when I did it, I had the little pillow over my mouth, and Matt said he still heard it.
That's the main day. He's telling me that story. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me Chris is in this back room biting pillows and screaming?
Oh, yeah.
This is the... Yeah, anyways.
So she did the whole top area of the dick. I'm yelling like a girl. All of a sudden, I feel wax on my nuts. I'm like, okay, here's the part that I've been scared about forever. I said, you're waxing my balls now. She goes, yeah, we're doing the balls now. So she's putting this wax on. She's talking. And all of a sudden, she rips it off. It hurt.
That's a pro.
It didn't hurt like I thought it was going to. The shaft hurt much worse. Okay?
Well, it makes sense. I mean, when you really, really think about it, the most sensitive part of your... Well, I mean, if she had to fucking do your head, that would probably be the worst. But, your shaft is more sensitive than your ball sack. Like, everybody thinks balls are going to hurt because if you touch your balls, it hurts. But this is just the skin.
But that's what I was worried about. The skin is so thin.
I know, but you can take that skin, you can pinch it as hard as possible, and you really barely even feel it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, the skin's not much there.
What scared me is how thin the skin was.
Yeah.
So after she gets done with the dick, the balls, she goes, all right, we're going to do the taint now. She lifts up my nuts, and she's holding on to the nuts. She wasn't an unattractive girl whatsoever. I could have easily gotten hard if I wasn't so fearful, but I was, so I didn't. So she does the taint.
That's good.
Then here's where it gets creepy. She goes, you're good. All we got left is the asshole. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, sweet. What do I do? She goes, well, I want you to grab the back of both knees and pull them up as far as you can to your chin. So I did that.
What a horrible position to be in.
That's what I say. As soon as I did it, I felt such like a woman who goes into a male gynecologist. Mm-hmm. That's what I felt like.
Yeah.
So she immediately darts right down. Her face is fucking 4 inches from my cornhole. She opens up my cheeks, and she's
an awful job.
She starts applying the wax.
Yeah.
She was very professional and very. I got to say this about her, cool as fuck.
I mean,
tried really hard
to
say
very professional. What would not professional be?
Well,
someone like doing designs on your butthole. Ooh, you feel that?
No, she told me. She goes, I can do a little heart on top. No, forget the heart.
She's like going in with the wax, like the airplane you feed kids.
No, when I mean professional, she was like, okay, here, blah blah blah. She pulled the wax. It never. You've seen waxers where they pull it off and part of it sticks. She got it all off, clean and smooth.
I haven't watched a lot of waxings.
She says there's going to be 4 pulls on the asshole, 2 on each side. And I'm like, well, why can't you just do the whole crack and one big yank? She goes, then you won't get it all. So when her first pull came on the asshole, I screamed like I've never screamed. Because let me tell you why. For all you men out there looking to get a manzillion, there's probably not any of you, but
just in case.
That's me. When she did the dick, the balls, it hurt like fuck, and then the pain was gone. Like getting a tattoo. Take the gun off, it doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
The asshole continued to hurt for about 40 to 50 seconds after she did that pull. So she gets all done. I'm laying there like Peter Griffin after his prostate exam. And she goes, you want to see? Hands me a mirror. I'm looking down at the junk. I'm like, oh, all looks good. I point it to the asshole. My asshole's fucking bleeding. And not a couple of drops of blood. My asshole's bleeding. And I said to her, my asshole's bleeding. She goes, oh, you got a little blood there? Yeah, she wipes it all off. She goes, that happens. She goes, now I'm going to put this stuff on it that's going to be cooling, and it's going to treat your pores. But
treat your pores.
I warn you.
My asshole pores. I'm worried about them.
It'll give you a little minty freshness down there.
Ooh, it's probably like that Dr. Bronner's.
It felt like she had just slathered my whole region with Bengay with icy hot because it hurt like a motherfucker.
Really?
Oh, God. It was cooling, and then when it soaked in, you're like, oh, it's a little tingly.
Yeah.
Only on the asshole. But I walked around for the next 2 hours with a sore butthole. But after I got home, and
you know how Curtis feels.
I took a shower. I got to say, I feel fucking great down there.
Good for you, bud. I'm glad you're proud.
I recommend it to you.
It's not going to happen. But, or will you be a repeat customer? I mean, obviously you're not going out to Vegas to get it done, but will you continue to pursue some sort of butt waxer in this area?
Originally, I said not a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm thinking probably yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like a tattoo. They always say about a tattoo, the fun's not getting them, the fun is having them.
Yeah, sure.
I feel fucking great down there. So will I go through 30 minutes, 40 minutes of pain to feel like this all the time? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking yes, I will. All I got to do is find somebody here that does it on the regular.
Hey, not related. I went to go see Lucas this week at his tattoo shop down there in Bluegrass Tattoo in Florence. That shop's fucking sweet, man.
Is it?
It's a sweet shop, guys. Go check it out.
In Florence, you said it's a house, right?
Yeah, it's just some house in Florence. Just look it up. I mean, it's super professional. It's not like you're getting tattooed in someone's living room. This is a business, don't get me wrong. He just bought a house and put a business in it.
Do you know that most tattooists don't use an autoclave anymore? Everybody gets a new needle.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But
when I was for years.
Yeah, but when I was young and getting them, they had the autoclave. They cleaned all the needles.
They still use the autoclave for the rest of the tattoo gun. That gets autoclaved and cleaned on a regular basis.
But the
actual needle, no, you don't reuse needles, dude. That's fucking crazy. I can't believe they ever did that.
They used to.
That should have never been legal.
They autoclaved them.
It doesn't matter. You shouldn't be. Not only that, but if the needles they lose they'd be dull. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get a lot of use out of a single needle. You know, it would be dull. By the third or fourth person, that tattoo would fucking hurt, and it probably wouldn't look as good, honestly, if you're not using fresh needles. So that's kind of goofy.
So the last thing about my Vegas trip, I'm going to say this. If anybody wants some after pics of the Manzillion, just look me up. It looks great.
If y'all looking for some dick pics, Chris got them for you, all right?
Completely medical dick pics. I'm not going to be hard with a Santa hat on or anything like that. I'm not going to do that. But if you want to see how smooth a man can be, look me up.
Look you up. There he is.
So, yeah, it was good.
All right. I was going to introduce a new segment this week, but we don't really have a title for it. We don't even have a working title for it. But it's basically where we're going to go ahead and give a couple people that are really fucking awesome this week. All right?
I like that.
A hero, whatever. Someone that did something super cool, and then I have to share it with them. They don't suck. Well, usually everything we talk about is like, oh, these people suck. Well, this isn't that. And even though the segment we're here where we say nice things about people, that's even a little bit different too. They're not doing anything awesome. We're just forcing ourselves to say nice things about people we hate.
Like
all right?
Hitler.
Hitler. Ooh, before I get into this, I'm going to forget if I don't say it. For a contest, I believe one of our punishments should be a Hitler tattoo. Or not Hitler tattoo, Hitler mustache.
Stash.
You got to cut your mustache into a Hitler stash for a week.
First of all, you've got a big gap in between your...
Yeah, I'm not going to lose. So, and it doesn't have to be me and you. I'm just saying if that's another idea.
I could do a Hitler stash.
No, yours would look really good. I actually thought about that while you were talking about Vegas, and I was looking at your mustache and laughing in my head like, ooh, you'd have a really good Hitler stash.
I would.
I wouldn't have a good Hitler stash.
No, I'm not a little thing in the middle.
I don't really
bald.
grow a mustache very well. I'm Irish. That's not our thing.
I'm Irish.
Yeah, but you must have the other part of you.
I'm Spanish in me, too.
Yeah, that's your Spanish part. I'm Irish-German, and I think the Irish,
German? Hello?
I get it, but I don't have the German characteristics.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You've got a bald spot there. You wouldn't look good with a Hitler stash.
No. So, I
would. I mean, mine grows thick here. You know what I mean?
Dude, you would look awesome with a Hitler stash. But no, if we'd think of two other people to be in a contest, because we've talked about wanting to do contests again, that's a great punishment. And it's, not that bad. It sucks, but it's, you'll be fine.
I mean, because you could let it start growing right away after that, right?
Yeah, a week. You shave it down and then, you let it go for a little bit.
That could really get you beat up, though, in that week.
Would anyone care? For one thing...
You're wearing a hate symbol, the ultimate hate symbol on your face.
Michael Jordan wore one for years. No one beat him up.
Well, it's hard to look at a black man and see a racist.
I'm just saying, I don't think you're going to get beat up. There's not a bunch of roaming gangs of Jewish people rocking around looking to kill you.
But it's not just Jewish. It's a sign of hate.
I get it, but black people would look at it and just think you looked funny. They would. I don't think they'd just go straight to Hitler. They might go to Hitler, but I don't think it would be taken as anything more than a joke, especially when you tell them, I lost the fucking bet. Which is in the end what happened.
I lost a bet, and I have to disguise myself as the world's biggest historical monster that ever walked the planet.
Oh, it'd be great. It'd be fucking great to see.
Wait, let's see if Napoleon's got a distinguishing feature. We can try to look like him.
He's got a small dick, I hear. You got to just walk around with a small dick for a month.
All right, I'm down. Yeah, I think we know lots of people with a good mustache, but it's got to be somebody with dark hair. Hitler had black mustache.
Well, it don't have to be the same color, but as long as they have a strong mustache, it would work. But, if any of you guys out there want to join a contest and the loser has to get a Hitler stash, the winner gets something. We'll get you something.
Have you talked to Scott Van Pelt about our news?
Yes, we're working it out.
We
got Scott Van Pelt coming up and doing our me and Chris's contest very soon, where the loser will have to dye their hair a certain color.
Right.
We have Ronnie Carter coming up soon, I believe. He's going to do one of those video ones we're trying to do. And we're going to get more
I'm
people.
looking forward to those, the video things. I think that could really be a cool deal.
Nick Marchetti will be stopping in once a week starting next week to do a little
football
segment.
Picks, yeah.
He's going to be picking the Monday Night Football game, so we'll see how that goes for the year. So we'll do a full year of that. That's 18 weeks in a row of Marchetti. You guys look fucking forward to it, all right?
How can you not?
And I'm sure he'll do the playoffs, all right?
He was one of our best guests during football season.
So he'll be back. We got a lot to look forward to. But what else? What were we just fucking talking about? Oh, the heroes.
Yeah.
So these awesome fucking people. So this week, there's a fighting organization called Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship where these guys go out, or guys and women go out and they fight bare knuckled, beat the fucking shit out of each other. Now, I didn't know they did it for other countries too, but there's other branches. This one happened overseas.
In England, there's a huge one.
Yeah, this one happened overseas. And this lady, she won, and she celebrated probably the coolest celebration I've ever seen by a lady. All right? Let's check her out.
We might be done.
Starting as an East Coast vibe, now I'm all worldwide. We got this bitch going crazy. I used to take the Mazda for a drive, now I'm on the 405 like it's fuck you, pain. Really sick of standing outside at the
All right, for those at home, Steven, she beats the shit out of this girl too. But for those at home that don't get to watch this lady won this fight, hops up on the ropes, and just flashes the whole crowd. And some decent sized titties.
They look like nice titties to me.
They look fake, kind of, the way they were shaped. But who knows?
You can have nice fake titties to me.
A lot of those girls, they don't have big tits because they're so muscular and such. Now, this is a small little organization, so I don't know if that's the case. But I did enjoy that. Look at those titties right there. Those are perfect titties, really.
They really are.
Yeah, let's go back. I don't know. Well, we'll not go in the close up. Even though this is a YouTube video, I don't want to get banned from YouTube for showing titties.
That is awesome.
Yeah, good for her. So she's one of my heroes of the week, and the other hero of the week is someone that I've loved for a long time now, and I'm sure you've seen his videos. He's everyone's favorite juggalo.
Oh, I love this
Superhuman, and he released a new one today, so let's enjoy Superhuman. For those who are listening and not watching, it's Superhuman, and there's 2 M's in the human, so it's Humman. He probably did that on purpose. And by purpose, I mean he probably thinks it's actually spelled that way.
No, I think he did it because somebody already had rights to the name Superhuman on YouTube channels.
This guy's fucking slow adult as hell. Who knows why he did it?
Well, before you do that, give a quick backstory on who this guy is.
He is a juggalo,
right?
Who regularly does stunts, doing wrestling stunts. Basically, he just jumps off on the shit
and he'll land on light bulbs or chain
for some reason.
link.
There's always cactuses involved.
Yeah, and he always says
glass.
"fuck this shit" before he does it.
Yeah, he's awesome. Basically,
and then as soon as he lands, he fucking cries like a girl.
Well, yeah, because it does hurt. Let's watch him. Oh. Watch from the beginning.
This is Superhuman TV Show. Today I'll be jumping onto the microwave or carnage. This is for the juggalos and juggalettes. Do not try this at home, and I hope you like it. Woof woof! Fuck this shit! Woof woof! Ah, shit! My fucking elbow! Ah, fuck my elbow!
He does that every time. My ass, my back.
He's the funniest dude ever. He's such an idiot.
You got to explain to me how that's heroic in any way, shape, or form.
Not important. It's awesome. That's what I mean. I didn't have to be hero of the week. It can be badass of the week. It can be bodacious dude of the week. We got to come up with a term.
They just did something good.
But I want something. Yeah, did some fucking awesome shit this week, and I got to watch it. And Sheik showed some titties. He hopped on a bunch of cactuses in a microwave.
They were both good.
We need more of these kind of people in our world. All right,
we do.
I don't want to really be around them or anything. They can stay over there, wherever they're from.
This guy probably gets millions of views, doesn't he?
He gets not millions, but it's like 50, 60,000 on his YouTube. He gets a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he gets a lot of Facebook and Instagram. He has all the platforms. So I'm sure overall he probably does 500,000. But everybody knows who he is. I guess Tosh had him on years ago. I never really watched Tosh's show after the first season or two because it just seemed repetitive to me.
Yeah, I always like Tosh.
I like him, but I just, I just don't watch TV much, so I didn't really watch a lot of it. Apparently he was on that first, and that's where he became super famous. I really found that about 2-3 years ago, and I've been watching his videos ever since. I get an alarm every time he puts out a video. It fucking tells me.
This guy does it really?
Of course, man. I got to know this shit, dude.
What was on the microwave? I couldn't really see. Was it just a microwave, or was there glass on it? Or?
There was cactuses, and we always put weird shit on them.
The microwave of carnage.
Yeah, it's not really showing us.
Microwave or carnage? This is for the juggalos and juggalettes. Do not try this at home.
The juggalos and juggalettes. He was updating the other day. He goes to the if we ever go to the fest, man. If we can.
He goes.
He goes every year. Yeah, that was just a couple weeks ago.
I bet he does stunts and shit off there too.
He probably makes some money at the fest. Signs autographs, does whatever.
Oh God,
he's my dude.
But every single time, he always really hurts himself. He's
whoop whoop.
Yeah, fucking. My ass, my back, my neck, my elbow. This was my elbow. Yeah, well, I like this segment. I didn't have a chance to come up with
I just
anybody.
came up with it, and I didn't tell anyone. But yeah, in the future, we'll look at it, maybe get a little sweet song and start showing you some cool shit.
I was solicited by a couple of prostitutes in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Both obviously, clearly men. They look like you and me with wigs on and Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
You winning? No, I'm not winning. She said, well, you need to start winning so you can get some of that money to me. And I'm sitting there thinking, you could see a lump in the front. I mean, these were men.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what Vegas has become? The hookers that approach you are dudes? Obvious dudes?
I'm sure not all of them are.
I didn't get approached by any other hookers.
Yeah, I don't know. Really?
Yeah, just Tyrone and
Tyrone.
that was his name.
Oh, really? Introduced as Tyrone?
They were both black guys. The one said, this Tyrone, and I'm whatever. It didn't give me his name or her name.
Does that mean you look gay?
No. I think it just means that I look like someone who wants to
have sex with men?
Apparently.
That's gay.
Do I look gay?
No, but I mean, I'm not a good judge.
I don't think I look gay, and I'm certainly not gay.
I mean, those guys are probably good at picking out straight-looking guys who are gay. That's the hard. Everybody can pick out a gay guy. You know, like
I'm not
a super
gay
gay
guy.
So dude,
I think they approach everyone.
Calm down.
I think they're just looking
did
for.
they approach Matt?
No, but they probably didn't want. They didn't walk the whole casino.
You think they didn't find Matt to be attractive?
No, I don't think that's it.
Yeah.
I think they were just probably offering BJs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't offer any specific fucking services to me.
You didn't try to get prices at least?
Oh no,
I would try to get
They were
prices.
men, dude.
Yeah, but for fun. Just
I
for
wouldn't
discussion later.
One thing that Vegas has gotten rid of that pissed me off is the 150 Mexicans you see from every street corner beating those hooker flyers and handing them to you. Mm-hmm. Those are gone.
Hey, I think we're going to be bombed at any point now. This is now like the 5th or 6th like low-flying jet that's went over my house today that's setting off car alarms and shit.
Airport's not that far from you.
It's pretty far. Lunken's pretty close, but the Hebron's pretty far. Those are not... No, this isn't an airport thing.
It takes a long time to drop from 30,000 feet.
I live here every day, though. This is
you're
my
right.
house. You know what I mean? I don't hear shit like this. It's going off. I've never had them go that low or setting off car alarms. All my little paranoid tweaking things are going off right now.
Well,
I think it's that goddamn QAnon.
You think that's what it is?
I think the goddamn QAnon's attacking.
Well, if QAnon's attacking, there's nothing we can do about it.
Did you see Papa Biden this week give his little speech about the QAnons and the Trumpers?
No, I didn't watch the speech.
I didn't
saw
watch
him
the
giving
speech
it,
either
but I
because
didn't
who gives
watch
a shit? But did you see the background and everything for it? The evil background?
Uh-uh.
He had the red. I had the picture up earlier. I just took it down. But he had the red background and all the, super paranoid freaks that believe everything's the end of the world kind of people all think it means it's Satan. But look at that. It does look very ominous. Oh, I didn't say that word right, probably.
Ominous.
Ominous, yes. Look at that. Crazy motherfucker out there just being weird.
Did you see the lead singer for the Dropkick Murphys? Apparently he spotted a couple of Make America Great hats in the audience, and he stopped the fucking music and just screamed at these fucking people.
He was upset about it?
Oh, you guys have any fucking idea who Donald Trump really is? He's the fucking devil. He's the worst leader this country's ever had. And if any of you want to wear those fucking hats, I will fight you outside right now.
Jesus, he's
Fuck
aggressive.
this guy. And then he looks out there, he goes, oh, sorry, I see kids here. Sorry for the bad language. And I'm done now. Let's go back to the music.
And they probably got a lot of Make America Great kind of people that like the Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah, but apparently the Dropkick Murphys don't like the Great America thing.
Of course. Why
but what
would
I'm
they?
saying is, and I think they're looking at their crowd going, God, we got a bunch of these fucking people.
Well, the Dropkick Murphys are kind of at least the lead singer is a right-leaning fella.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been a right-wing kind of guy.
He tore Trump
but
up.
he's not like that kind of, there's a different kind of right-wing. There's your conservatives, your Republicans, and then there's the Trumpers. That's a different batch, man. I mean,
well, the thing
I
about
know
it is
they kind of blend together these days a little bit, but they're different.
In his little speech, he didn't go left at all. Mm-hmm. He just basically went on saying, you fucking people realize that you are middle-class working people like me? He doesn't give a fuck about you. The rich people don't give a fuck about you. Mm-hmm. And you're supporting him by wearing this fucking bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. You want to fight me outside? I'll come by after the fucking show. Fuck you guys. And back to music. He even laughed at the end. He said, sorry for my rant. But he saw the hats, and he apparently set a fuse off. You know what I mean?
I never liked them. I've seen them a bunch of times.
Would you call them ska, punk? What would you call them? Because they're kind of a combination of both.
No, they're not. They have no ska involved. But
they got a ska sound.
No, they don't. You don't know what ska is.
Your ska and everybody else's ska is fucking different.
No, we'll argue after the show, and I'll make you listen to some songs. But
songs that you find ska.
No. Why everybody fucking finds ska? All you have to do is look it up. You'll never see their name.
Sublime had some ska in them.
Yes, they don't sound anything like the Dropkick Murphys, bud.
They're all straight.
Dude, listen, that's not the same music. I promise you.
To me, they're a combination of ska and punk.
That's because you're not as into that music. You don't know the subgenres as much. It's all right. They're definitely they're a combination like punk and Irish folklore shit. Like, they have their thing. And actually, they're not bad live. I've seen them like 6 times.
And there's not a whole lot of bands that have that exact thing.
They used to tour with ska bands. They toured with the Mighty Bosstones.
Because I think they considered themselves in the ska genre. No. Maybe not the hardcore ska genre that you're used to.
No, believe me.
Because you listen to some fucking music that I've never even fucking heard of before.
So many, yeah, cool. But there's so many people right now. Well, there's not many because we don't have a lot of listeners. But there's people right now that are really into ska music that are getting really angry at you right now.
Do I give a fuck
no,
what anybody
why would
thinks?
you? I'm not
fuck
saying
you
would,
if
you're
that's
wrong.
you.
It'd be like me telling you the bass player of Rush was a different person than Geddy Lee. You'd get really mad at me. You know what I mean? Like it's just not your thing.
It is Geddy Lee.
Exactly.
You know what? There's no need to bring Geddy into this.
I think he drives down viewers. I think people are like, wait a minute, you listen to Rush? I'm out of here.
Wait, you listened to a fucking band that's had 10 bazillion fucking album sales?
Yeah, a long time ago, man. Who's coming
Still, if they toured right now, if Neil didn't die and they toured, they would sell out every Heritage Bank in a fucking hour.
And it'd be full of old people I don't want to be around.
Old people that have the fucking money to pay those fucking tickets.
Just saying, it's going to be a bunch of old motherfuckers.
Fuck off. Hey, did you see the
and
other day?
And some nerds. They actually
fucking,
have a lot of music.
I don't know where they were playing. I think it was those 2 Foo Fighter concerts that they were doing.
The Wembley Stadium. Yeah, that was depressing, man.
Yeah, but the one where fucking Shane Hawkins got up there and did My Hero with him.
Yeah,
he did a pretty nice job. Decent drummer.
Only 16, man.
Yeah, good drummer. I mean,
Adam,
because he's a lot better, and this is gonna piss people off than that little fucking girl from England. Nambi or whatever her fucking name is that loves Foo Fighters, and he's had her on a few times. Good drummer for a 10-year-old girl. Great drummer. Mm-hmm. But is she quality to be in the fucking... No, she's not. You saw her play fucking Evermore.
Who played with him for the most part? Was it Josh Freese that played with him for the most part?
For the most part. In that show. Now it's going to be somebody totally different at the L.A. or New York show, wherever the second show is.
Be Freese.
There's 2 of them because it's got all different guests coming.
Yeah, I bet
like Alanis Morissette's coming to this one because Taylor Hawkins played with her forever, so she's doing it and someone else doing it. But
I wouldn't be surprised if Freese took over permanently for them. He's just such a great drummer, and
they're talking about fucking my choice, Travis Barker. I think he's perfect for them.
I'd hate that. He's not perfect. Drummer. He does hip hop beats. He's different.
He's a banger.
Well, no, he's at everything really. He's a really good drummer, but it's just not my style.
But what I'm saying
he is my style. I love him as a drummer, but he wouldn't fit in with that band. But I don't give a fuck. I don't really like the Foo Fighters that much. I just like
Taylor Hawkins. If he wanted to be, was a good technical drummer.
Super good.
But when he played live shows, he was a banger. He was a Tommy Lee.
Oh, he just played the song.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Those songs are
banger songs. He
wasn't
a Tommy Lee. He was totally different than Tommy Lee, dude.
What I'm saying
He's so much more technical.
He doesn't get technical on the live shows. He just bangs out the tune.
That's not true. When they really
I saw him.
I know I've seen him too.
But what I'm saying is he was just bam, bam. He was loud and he was beating everything hard.
He plays the songs, but when they do their little jams and stuff like that, he's not doing easy shit.
Right. And when he does other people's stuff, like when they do all the Queen shit, he gets real technical.
Tommy Lee never does anything
because that was his hero. Because that was his fucking hero.
Who?
The guy from Queen.
Yeah, that and the guy from the Police, Stuart Copeland was.
He was a giant Stuart.
But that's what I mean. To play Stuart Copeland stuff is super hard. He's
but his son was good.
Good. I only watched Times Like These with Dave Grohl and he's all crying and shit, and I was like, this is depressing. I'm out.
Yeah. Like I said, one of those shows would be cool, but I heard they were being streamed live, both of them, all the way through.
Yeah.
I just saw clips of them. Mm-hmm. I didn't see the whole thing.
I'm not gonna watch it. I mean, I like him good enough. I like the Foo Fighters good enough, but I'm not spending an hour and a half watching one of their shows. I
think they will. I think they will tour again. I think part of this is, hey, let's find who fits.
I don't know. Well, I don't think that. I think this is a big, probably benefit show for his children and shit like that. Even though I'm sure the guy made enough money where it's not going to be an issue, but who knows? Yeah, hey, let's probably get into one of these. Would you rather? And by one of these, I mean be deaf for the next 5 minutes.
It wasn't as loud as the first time we started this shit.
You turned your headphones down. I never did.
Oh, you're still loud?
Yeah, it's decent. I like loud, though.
Well, I did when I could hear. All right, so I'm going to go back to the Vegas trip, and I'm going to ask you this. Would you rather?
All right.
You get approached by 2 prostitutes.
Hookers?
Which, nasty word for their line of business. Anyway.
Custodian, bitch.
One of them is a man,
all right,
and you know it, okay? But it's an actually beautiful man, okay? Done up real good, looks female, but when he talks, you can tell he's a man. Okay, he approaches you and says, "I want to suck your dick, $50." And remember, this is a good-looking female. If he didn't talk, you wouldn't know. Male, good-looking female, but it is a man. $50. I want to suck your dick. Or you get a disgusting, fat, hairy one that walks up that's obviously female. And she says, "I want to suck your dick too, but my price is $100."
So which one I'm taking from
Which
there?
one's sucking your dick? That's just sucking your dick. Okay? But even though one's a hot girl and one's fat and gross and disgusting, and the fat, gross, disgusting one is $50 more, who's sucking your dick?
And let's clarify that I'm in a world where I have to say yes to this because
Absolutely.
I'm not getting a hooker ever, so it's not really a thing. But
you're also not solving cancer or world hunger or anything like that, but we all do this.
Not true. Anytime now, man. Anytime.
It's going to come into your head. And
Yeah,
dream.
I'm just waiting for it.
Like, when are they going to fix that skin? It's getting worse.
It's not getting worse.
Yeah, it is.
It's about the same.
I can see it now.
You could see it before, dude. And either way, I am on the week. I don't know.
Are you being treated? Or
Yeah, no. I seen a dermatologist. They told me what I had. That I have basically, there's some technical term for it, but what she said is basically face dandruff. It's the same thing that people get in their hair, but you can get it on your face. And I got a cream. I was supposed to use it twice a day for 2 weeks, and I'm supposed to use the soap every day. I've done the soap every day. The cream, I only did once a day for 2 weeks because I'm fucking forgetful as shit. And it's got a little bit better. I'm now you're supposed to take a week off and then start it again. So this is a month-and-a-half treatment. So we'll see.
Right.
The second time around, I need to fucking actually do it because that's all that I'm going to go back to her. I'm going to go, it's going to still there. And you're like, did you do it twice a day? And I'm going to say no. And they're like, all right, retard, go do it twice a day.
Yeah, because
and
I
come
think
back
if you
and
ask
see me.
any doctor, you can only get cured if you actually do what
Yeah.
they tell
No,
you
it's
to do.
for true. But when she told me what it was, I'm like, oh, well, that sucks, but that's not going to kill me, so I'm not as worried about it anymore either, you know?
Would you forget if you had something wrong with your cock? Let's say you had a fucking giant fucking red pulsating fucking bump on the side of your dick that oozed, and they said, hey, you want to get rid of that bump? You rub the cream on it twice a day. Do you think you'd forget then?
No, but that's a lot more detrimental to everything. You know what I mean? This is like, okay, it bothers me, but I don't look in the mirror much. I don't, it just doesn't, I don't care. I'm married. No one's going anywhere. We're good.
It bothered you.
It bothered me enough to go see a doctor, don't get me wrong, but it was partly because also my mom had skin cancer at some point in her life, and I just want to make sure I'm not fucking dying.
I get it.
As soon as someone tells me I'm not dying and they just got some other shit, I'm like, I can live with it. It's not as big a deal. With that being said, I didn't not take my cream on purpose. I'm just a fucking idiot. And I forget things, especially late at night. I'm usually not that sober by the time that happens, all right? So
I get it. All right, so pick a hooker.
I got problems. Hookers. Yeah, man, I'm paying extra for the fat bitch. I'm not gay. So if I know it, like I couldn't get a boner anymore, I don't care how attractive this man is. I'm just, as soon as I know fucking old slinky dick down there stays slinky dick. All right, it's not popping up. It's not going down the stairs.
I'm with you.
All right, it's just,
I'm paying for the fat girl.
I'm not paying for a fat girl ever to blow me. This is never going to happen, but if I have to, gun
this
to my
case you
head,
are.
I'm
Yeah.
giving the
And
bitch
you do have a gun to your head.
$100, and she's probably better, even though he's probably good too. You know, dude's probably a good blowjob.
You would think
But
gay
fat
men,
girls are also
you know,
good blowjobs, but any kind of professional you would think would be a good
all
blowjob.
these women that play with girls,
Mm-hmm.
they say, oh, yeah, no one can eat pussy like a woman. They know what feels good.
Yeah.
I wonder if that goes the same with men.
Probably.
Can a man suck a better dick
I bet
than
you.
a woman?
I bet you.
think?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
I
gonna
don't know
find
better
that.
than a fat girl.
I'm not going to find that out.
Fat girls are experts. You know, they have to be. I don't got a choice. Just, you know, it is what it is.
All right.
Man,
so
we've been
we'll-
mean to fat girls. I've been mean to fat girls in this episode.
You have
So
a
it's
lot.
pretty rude of me as a fat dude.
Yeah, and you know what
But hey, fatties, listen, every fat girl out there, feel free to write in and give me shit for being a fat guy. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Just, well, is that some back and forth here?
Hey, and for you fat girls that are scared to travel,
Never trust a fart.
They have extensions on seatbelts.
Yeah.
You can use.
Yeah, Fat Matt knows. Never trust a fart pod at gmail.com. Write and tell me about fat girls.
So, listen, you need to tell your friends. We've got some new stuff coming up to the podcast. We're trying to add a spark. We're going to be doing a lot of video interviews. We're going to be doing different things. So, we both realized that the show sometimes gets a little complacent and you hear a lot of the same shit. That's just us talking, but we are going to be adding some new content. So, you need to get your friends hooked on the show, too. And I'll bet you in the next couple of weeks we start seeing listens from Nevada.
Nevada.
Because these girls at the Bombshell, love y'all. They were really interested in the podcast. We wrote down the name. I think they're going to listen.
I got questions about you ladies. All right. I think I'm going to need one of you to call in. I want to know how you get in the butt waxing business. Like, what went wrong in your life? Who touched you? What's going on?
I don't think anything went wrong. I think...
I'm just kidding. You ladies are making a fine living. I hope you listen, and I respect you and your work.
I asked her. I said, you get your shit done, right? She goes, yeah, I do it myself. I said, what part hurts you the most? She said, right on my pussy lips. The lips themselves.
That makes sense.
Hurts more than anywhere else.
That's the same.
I
as the
said,
shaft.
I would think right near the top of the, like right near the clit would hurt the most. She goes, no, believe it or not, it's not bad up there. Because no hair actually grows on the clit, but she said you'd think the whole region will be extra sensitive. And she said it's not like the lips. The lips hurt. I said, well, to me, the lips with that thin skin is the equivalent of balls. Mm-hmm. That's why I thought it would hurt the most.
I don't know why you think you got thick skin on your dick. That's thin skin too. They're just shaped different.
Well, yeah, but
there's no muscle behind the skin.
Behind the balls. There's nothing under them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know what's under. Something's there. It's not just skin.
A pair of nuts under there. There's a lot of empty space in the nut sack.
There's a sack. What's in a sack? Because I think the skin just goes around the sack, right? The sack's just not skin. There's something else there, right?
Well, there's 2 balls and 2 long cords.
We need a doctor. We need a doctor to come on here and really explain some balls.
But we're going to try to get one of the gals, hopefully the one who did my waxing.
I've seen the cords. I went to the dead fucking exhibit, whatever those are called.
Oh, did you see that? Yeah, they had one of those in Vegas.
Those are cool to go once. It's a good experience, but it's fucking weird.
The guy said
they're all like Chinese slaves, though.
And a guy handed me a fucking flyer that said, Bally's, real dead bodies. And they had them cut up in a number of different ways so you could see everything. Mm-hmm. And Matt says, I have virtually no interest in that. Got all serious. I have no interest in seeing dead bodies. I said, well, me either, really, because they're probably 100-year-old dead bodies. You know what I mean?
Well, me and my friend Jesse did. We went a long time ago, and I enjoyed it. I had a good time. It was very fucking weird. They would dress like the dead bodies would be like in a soccer uniform.
They had a guy. They had a dead body throwing a baseball, so you could see what the muscles
were. It was shit
working.
like that, and then the balls were just crazy looking because they weren't there. They were just long. They went down pretty far. You know what I mean? They were mid thigh. These big long balls. And then I found out later that they were all like Chinese slaves and shit that they sold. It's like, oh, that's fucking even darker than I thought. But all right.
There was a YouTube video of this kid in a fucking band. They were on stage playing a fucking concert, and he was playing a kettle drum. Mm-hmm. Big kettle drum. Just boom, 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 boom. And the fucking little mallet went up, caught him under the eye, and his eyeball popped out. And the cord on that thing, it went down to his waist.
Yeah.
This fucking cord just hanging out of his eye. He didn't seem to feel any pain. He just kind of went, oh, what the fuck? Put his things down and grabbed his eye and walked off stage. But that cord was about that fucking long.
Grabbed his eye.
Hey, I'm going to give a big fuck you to Harry Guy.
Oh, we were not in the fuck yous yet, but we can get to him. Let's get to him. Yeah. Well, you got a joke first?
Yeah. But no, the fuck you is just, hey, he didn't write no email.
He hasn't written a little bit.
I know. That's what I'm calling
fuck neither you. Is Theo. Fuck him.
Fuck Theo.
Yeah.
Now, my joke of the week is also taking me back to Vegas days because when I was in Vegas, I found...
Very Vegas-centric show.
Well,
for a town that I don't even like.
Go on a trip, and I'm in no hurry to go back there, but so many fucking Asians because we know it's cultural in some Asian countries to play to gamble.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do an Asian joke of the week.
All right.
And this is one I've told before, but I think I've only told it once before. So I'm going to tell.
We're past the point where you haven't told one before.
Yeah. So this Asian couple is having sexual problems.
All right.
They're not having sex because neither one of them initiates it or neither one of them does anything. So they go to a doctor. And pardon the accent, but I've got to do the accent because it makes the joke. The doctor says, what's the problem? Oh, we don't have sex. Neither one of us want to have sex. And the doctor says, well, look, I think the problem is communication here. I think you guys need to, you don't tell each other what you want. You know, hey, I want some oral. I want this. You don't do that. You know, I want you to ride me. You guys got to communicate. You got to tell each other what you want. That way you won't be scared to go in.
Scared.
No, I said you won't be scared to go in and try new things. So they're laying in bed a couple days later, and they're making out. Guy sticks his finger down. He's fingering his wife, and she's playing with his dick, and you know they're getting hot and heavy. And she looks at him. She goes, I want 69. I want 69. And the man jumps up, throws his clothes on, and says, "You want beef and broccoli now?"
Joke cam, joke cam, joke cam, joke cam, joke cam, joke cam, joke cam.
Beef and broccoli now. Come on, that's funny. Everyone who eats Chinese food knows every dish has a number.
Yeah, 69 though. There's not 6. That's a big store.
Maybe they own
That's a lot of things.
Maybe they own a Chinese restaurant. Who the fuck knows?
Do you have a fuck you this week?
No, I was just going to give
What
Harry
the
Guy one.
fuck? You don't got a fuck you?
You know what? I ran into a lot of fucking strange people out there, but none of them pissed me off.
Oh, good for you. I think it was because you were probably happy drunk.
I'm a happy drunk.
Well, especially if you're out on vacation and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you know what?
Around someone like Matt, it's hard to get upset around. He's always pretty good mood himself.
Yeah, he was like the cabin trips. He was this.
Yeah, he just stays. Yeah, he just stays retarded. His spasticity acts up. He has to treat it.
You know, the spasticity is a real thing because it's funny because we woke.
Did you wake up to him going ah?
Yes. I woke up the first night we slept there. I woke up Tuesday and he starts laughing. He's got the fucking Top Gun helmet on, and he starts laughing. And I said, "What the fuck's so funny?" He goes, "I'm real. My legs are killing me right now. My legs are cramping up right now." I'm like, "It's the spasticity." He goes, "I know. I wasn't lying." But the spasticity did act up, but it's all right. He treated it medically.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably because of poor diet and no exercise. But call it what you want.
We got the Uber. I said to the guy, "So what's the deal here? I mean, are you allowed to walk down the streets just smoking a fucking joint?" And he goes, "No, not technically. No, you're do the edibles and stuff like that. You're supposed to be indoors." Everyone was walking down the street hitting pipes and smoking, and we smelled weed.
Pipes and joints
everywhere. Well, I don't know what they were smoking it out of, but when you're walking down the street, all we smelled is weed burning.
Really,
everywhere.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I figured that vapes would be big and shit like that, but I figured the weed shit would still be done mostly
No, they
in
were
private.
smoking. They were smoking all on the street.
Flower.
But the funny thing is, we said to the Uber guy, he goes, "But the cops," and there's a security guard in front of every store and everywhere.
Yeah, but that's security.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're called something else. He called them like marshals or something like that. I think part of their job is to try to monitor that too. He said that anyone with an out-of-state license, even if they walk up to you and say, "You got to put that joint out," if you got an out-of-state license, you're just saying, "Hey, let you know in Vegas that's not allowed." But the locals will all get a ticket.
Oh, really?
If you're caught smoking in public and you're a local, they'll give you a weed ticket.
Kind of fucked up, but I mean, I could see it as a money-making thing for them.
Yeah, and the Uber guy said to us, he goes, "If it's you and you get caught and you show them out-of-state license, you're just going to say, 'Hey, we're not allowed to do that here.'"
Okay.
But he said, if you're local, you're
Yeah, because
supposed to know
it
the
can be
law.
confusing. Everybody just knows that weed's legal out there, so you would think, well, if it's legal, why can't I just do it
Yeah,
then?
but you can't step out of any hotel without smelling.
But it's the same thing as alcohol at other places. Just because alcohol is illegal in Cincinnati, you can't just walk down the street drinking alcohol. You can get a ticket for it.
On our last day
Certain
there,
areas
we're
you can.
walking around. All of a sudden, Matt comes walking back with one of those big drink bones. You know those bones? And it's got a slushy in it,
Yeah.
loaded with weed. It was a weed slushy.
Load it with weed. It just had THC in
A
it.
THC slushy, yeah.
Oh.
And he's walking down the street, fucking big giant thing with a huge straw. He's fucking sucking down the weed.
That's hilarious.
It was.
How many milligrams was it, you think? Or did he know?
I asked him. He said he didn't know, but it was called like.
That's a risk taker there.
Well, no, it's in a public store. They had a lot of those slushy stores out there.
No, I'm just saying it's risky because, if it's 100 milligrams of weed, you're going to be in a different world. It's not.
Well, he said
You gotta watch out
He said
sometimes.
he could definitely taste the weed.
Oh, really?
He goes, "Yeah, I can taste the weed in here."
Huh.
But I mean, it just a recreational place making weed slushies. I thought it was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah. Hey, why not, man? That's tourism for you.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll get to our fuck you and get the fuck out of here. All right. Fuck Chris for his ringtone. That's not it. So, I try to be open-minded. You know how I am. I try to be open-minded about the gay stuff. The LGBTQT, whatever. I joke and everything, but for the most part, I'm very accepting of all that stuff. I don't give a fuck. Basically, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
But I'm curious about it. Sometimes I'll ask questions, just want to know. So, a friend of mine's girlfriend added me on Facebook like a few months ago. I don't know how long it was. She'd laugh at my shit. Whatever. I said yes because I've never met the woman in my life. But I said yes because I like her boyfriend.
Yeah.
They recently broke up, right? Like a couple weeks ago. And it was amicable breakup. Everybody, they're still friends, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I'm still friends with her on Facebook. She came out as queer, right? Says she's been queer for 25 years, but now she's coming out. I don't know about you, but I don't know what that means.
I do.
I don't know what queer by itself means. Queer to me,
Gay.
yes, is another word for gay.
Yeah.
But why would you have to use the word queer? Why couldn't you just use gay? So there has to be some other way to... You know what I mean? Like, it has to be something else, unless why would it need its own term?
Well, maybe,
and I wanted
maybe it means you're pansexual or something like that.
I don't know what pansexual is its own thing, so I don't think that's what it means. Even though, I'll get that in a second. So, being the curious person I am, I just asked what, growing up, queer was just another word for gay. What exactly does that mean? Being curious, wanting to have a discussion. This fucking crazy bitch
went off on you?
Gets all mad, apparently. This is through Facebook, so you can't tell too much, but she obviously copies and pastes some big fucking thing, puts that there, and then after that, she writes, "The only acceptable answer for this is I'm happy for you. Either that or just go read a book." Listen. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. I am asking a curious question.
What's
because
the definition?
I don't care. At that point, this is the problem, is when you come in at me combative like that, and all I am doing is being curious and honestly wanting to know, no judgment at all, just literally wanting to know. The thing to do is to kind of explain it.
Exactly
Maybe what
right.
I mean in your way. I don't want to copy and paste it. I know how to Google. I can find out what queer means to Google. I want to know what it means to you. You are the person that's coming out as queer, and I'm just curious what exactly that means to you. The thing to do would be explain what that means. And that way, not only do you further your cause with someone that's already on your side, but now they got an answer, and they don't have to ask that in the future to maybe someone they don't know. So you're helping out your own cause by just being nice and explaining what it is. When you're combative like that, I no longer give a fuck. At this point, you say that, I'm like, well, fuck you. I don't give a fuck what queer means now. I hate you. That's about it. She erased me apparently right away too, which who gives a shit? I don't know this girl.
Yeah.
But it just cracks me up that you can't just take a question like that and be offended like that much by it instead of just answering. And this is the reason shit doesn't get done.
That's exactly right.
Because everyone just gets angry instead of just being rational and explaining.
If you come out
change
and
happens
you say,
through
I'm
conversation.
This, exactly right.
And if you're not willing to have that conversation and understand, you're never going to get change. You're just going to get angry. And why?
Right.
I don't give a fuck who
it's like
you
you're
fuck.
You're asking the world to accept you for who you are. Well, tell me who you are.
Yes, and I have no problem. It's a curiosity.
It's like saying I like to hatchet murder people, but I want you to accept me because it's who I am.
Like you
but
said,
let me just
queer
tell you
is
this.
just another word for gay, and that's what I've always thought too. But I know there is something else to it, unless they wouldn't have it.
Well, dictionary.com says queer is
I wouldn't
either
trust that one.
odd. Well, no, I'm just telling you. I've looked at two. Odd or different. Something's queer is going on here,
Yeah.
And the other one says homosexual. But then I looked down and it said, I said, what is queer in layman's terms? And it says, queer is a word that describes sexual and gender identities other than straight or cisgender. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people may identify as queer. So maybe it's somebody who
Now, we know a guy
is
at
just
work.
not straight.
We know a guy at work who does identify as pansexual, and he says he refers to himself as queer, not gay. So, I guess that's
because he's
part of
willing
it.
to sleep with women
But
as well.
Is pansexual one of the letters?
No,
Is there no
but
P in
Q
it?
is.
So Q is. So, okay, that makes sense that would be it. See, that's the correct answer. Something like that. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and
that guy, I don't judge him because I judge
must
him
be
for other reasons.
It must
but
be a
not
new
because
thing
he's pansexual.
because it used to be LGBT. They added the Q a few years ago.
Yeah, and apparently that was a contentious thing among their own group too. Was they're like, why the fuck are we doing this? But whatever. Within the group, there's a lot of different things. I know typically the lesbian, or not typically, but a lot of lesbian women are really anti-transgender people because, they're like, hey, fuck you, you're a man. There's a lot of contentiousness in that actual group, but I don't want to be involved. I don't give a fuck. I'm just curious.
I think it's
I just
a
have
word.
questions.
I think
it.
in the community, it's a word that they use to describe as, okay, I'm going to sleep with who I want to sleep with, and I don't care what they fall under. Yeah, and I know that's pansexual too, but I think like maybe a queer woman might say, well, I'll sleep with men, women, or people that don't identify as either. I'll sleep with whoever I want to sleep with. I think that's what she meant by it, but I agree with you 1,000%. This is a guy, this is a heterosexual man who's accepting of pretty much anybody. He's just curious what exactly it means.
Yeah.
And I think the world would be a better place because that's what they all talk about. Hey, why can't we just sit down and talk about things and then we'll understand each other?
All about that.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me. I love doing that kind of shit. I love finding about things I don't know about.
I do too.
It's fucking super interesting to me, and I'm not judgmental about any of it, outside of maybe a giggle or two every once in a while. But, in the end, I don't give a fuck.
But when
push comes to shove, I'm on your side.
Came out as a trans person, I went for almost a year to meetings that were what do you call them, support groups. I went into the first one, and it was all men to women, and they basically said, hey, what are you doing here? And I said, well, I'm a father of a trans person. I don't understand anything about it. I don't know about it. And I want to be able to know about it because I don't want to say the wrong thing or make my son think I'm not accepting. I want to know about it. I want to know what you were thinking when you became this, or how did you know you were this? And these people basically sat there for the first 2 meetings, hour and a half long each, and let me ask all the questions I had. And they sat there and they answered every single one of them. So I would leave those meetings with an understanding. Oh, okay, this is what he's feeling. And everything was great. Imagine if they would have said, fuck you, what are you doing here? Fuck you, you don't belong here. I would have left there thinking, fuck, trans people are assholes. You know what I mean?
That's what
I would have done.
You're just ruining your own cause. I don't get it. So fuck you. Whatever your name is. I don't even know your fucking name. That's how important you've been in my life. I don't even know your fucking name. I know you as my friend's girlfriend. I still like that guy. And maybe that guy would get pissed off if he hears
But I will tell you this,
sorry about your life.
and you're not my Facebook friend, and I don't know you. But if you happen to ever listen to this show, I'm telling you, you're hurting your whole community's cause by reacting this way.
100%.
Okay?
Don't even make any sense.
You want people to be accepting of who you are and your lifestyle. They don't have to like it, but you want to accept you. You need to have a little back and forth with it. So you're fucking things up for everybody.
Yeah, you a dum-dum.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this week. You have anything else to say? Because I sure in the fuck don't.
No. Who are we going to have next week? Scott Van Pelt?
I don't know. We're going to have somebody next week, though, for sure. Someone will be here next week, and probably for the next few weeks we'll have something planned.
And I will say this, going in, Who Day, look for us in Super Bowl. Where's Super Bowl this year?
They'll have another show before before the Red Bengals game, I believe. But yeah,
we will.
I don't give a fuck where the Super Bowl is. It's where the Bengals are playing. That's all that matters.
But yeah, I just didn't know if we knew where it was yet.
All right, guys, that's it. Until next week, go fuck yourself. Hey, man, pretty good. You went through the whole episode without hating on Jewish people.
Or
You can kindly fuck off now. Please subscribe and share. Well, you can kindly fuck off now.